It is about 9:50 in the morning Central Time. I am in Arkansas. I'm about an hour and a half northeast of Little Rock, Arkansas, and I just stopped at this. If you look for that sign, that's where I'm at. So just look out your window if you see that. I can show up an hour early, so I've got like 15 minutes or so that I need to eliminate off my clock before I head on the road again. I started really early this morning, Monday morning, in an effort to allow me some home time, but also be able to leave on Monday, which was my goal, and I did. I tarp this a little bit differently. Typically I don't fold under my tarp, but I said, hey, what the heck, let's try it, see how it goes. It looks kind of discombobulated. That's the way it's been the whole trip, and I'm assuming that's because of the cold weather, because when I started out it was like 2 degrees, and now it's a nice balmy 27, and with the sun being out and hitting this, I think it'll be a little bit easier to roll up when I actually make this delivery. And underneath this beautiful secret looking compartment of tarpiness is 2 4-inch plates of steel, and they're solid plates. They're about 21 feet long, I want to say. So there's a lot of room left on my deck of my trailer. I'll try to back up here without falling over. You know, falling down can be a hazard to many things in my line of work. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of space left on the deck, but that's roughly slightly over 45,000 pounds worth of steel. I talked with the individual that loaded it. It was supposed to be slightly over 47, but he says when they did the order, it was 47,000 pounds, but then they trimmed off the ends to make it, I guess, square or whatever. And he said, so now it's probably a little over 45,000. I'm like, all right, I would have been happy with 47. The great thing about these loads is their low aerodynamic drag, allowing me for increased fuel performance while I drive. I would haul this stuff 24/7 if I could. I love steel, steel bars, flat steel, all this kind of stuff, because it lows low to the deck, and it handles really well, and increases my fuel mileage. So my truck is dirty as all get out. You can see the lovely stuff that gets spread everywhere, even on the bungees, the salt spray from the road defrosting agent they use. What is that? Let me, that does not look normal to me, but it also looks elusive. So I'm going to check a compartment here, because you have this kind of moisture area, which may be, I don't know. There's nothing dripping here, but I wanted to, okay, so I have here's my converter, for anybody wanting to know, that converts all the electricity I need inside. A bottle of window washing fluid. I also have a spare box of DEF if ever I were to go to, especially wintertime. There are many times you end up going through a fuel pump where the DEF pumps are frozen and unusable. And if you do not have a spare box of DEF, you can find yourself on the highway doing, 49 miles an hour, trying to keep your engine from derating so you can get to a place where you can get more DEF. So I carry a box with me, and I'm always sure to fuel up with DEF every chance I can, within reason. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't leaking out, so leads me to believe that might be a little bit of diesel fuel because when I pull my the diesel out, it kind of swings this way. So if there was some drips, I try to tap it on the rim of where I fuel in order to eliminate any drips at all, but sometimes, depending on the hose manufacturer and whatnot, there's nothing you can do, and you end up making things a little bit messy. But that's my guess as to what that is, because there's nothing else to indicate drippage from any other compartments or anything, and it's near the fuel point. So since I got more time to kill, oh yeah, it looks great in the old sunlight. The nice, if I wanted a two-tone paint job, I can kind of get a resemblance of what it may look like. This delivers in Little Rock, which is great. I don't know if I'll have the opportunity to go by the Maverick Little Rock yard, but if I do, they do have a truck wash there. Though in winter times, many of these truck washes that Maverick has, the doors are closed because of the freezing temperatures. So we will see how this goes. I noticed that my antenna, there's I guess what you would call a plastic sleeve or cap to my tall antenna, which is for increased cell phone service, which I did a review on. I'll try to put if there's a link here, it'll show you where that video is, and what that's all about. But it seems to be cockeyed, and it is loose because I've moved it back into place. So I'm not sure what necessarily is causing that, other than the wind that is constantly blowing against it as I drive. So that may be something I'll have to continue to keep an eye out on to see if that gets worse. Anyway, that's 7 minutes of my 15 minutes that I need to take up, and I think I'll get back into my truck now so I can warm up my fingers, because they're kind of frozen now. And we'll see what happens next once I drop this off, because I've already driven 300 and something miles already today. I haven't got much time or many miles. I've got another 300 miles left in my day technically, but I often don't get to see that based on loading and unloading times at shippers and receivers. So we'll see what happens. So there's what I got. It is 11:38 in the afternoon here in Little Rock, Arkansas, and getting ready to deliver my steel plate in this door when it opens. And after this, I'm going to another place in Little Rock and picking up all weather insulated panels. Let's see. And going to Corpus Christi, Texas. It's been a long time since I've been to Texas, and it worries me when I go to Texas because it's hard to get out of there. It doesn't deliver until the 11th, which let's see, 9, how many miles are they giving me for this? Oh, 637 miles, so I'll be there tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. And but it doesn't deliver until the morning of the 11th. So if I can get something on Wednesday to get me back to St. Louis or in that direction, I'll be happy. Last time I was there, I think I got stuck. The magic door is opening. It must be time for me to turn off my video camera. It is 1:09 in the afternoon. My appointment was at 12 and I got here at 11. Let's see. My phone time is incorrect. It is 12:09 Central Standard Time. I've been having troubles with the clock on my phone for some reason. So disregard the previous time. It is actually 12:09 according to my GPS and my Qualcomm unit. I didn't enter the door. My plates are still on my deck. An important note, each of my plates weighs 22,873 pounds, approximately. I know one of them does. I think the other one's really close to that. So I've only been parked here for an hour and 4 minutes, which is typical. I would have expected to be in by now, and somebody came out and talked to me, and now I understand why I'm still waiting. Apparently, they don't have anything available to unload this particular weight of product. They have I guess a crane out back that could, if it was working, but it's broken. So they are trying to decide on how they're going to get this particular product that they ordered unloaded. So should be interesting, and as a result of this, it may actually, I don't know if it will, but it could, depending on how lengthy this gets and what may be required, I may end up with a different load other than picking up insulated panels that I have to tarp and take to Corpus Christi, Texas, which is only, a day's drive away, and I've got 5 hours on my driving clock, so I'll only have like 300 miles to drive tomorrow. Well, actually, I should say, let's just say I'll have 400 miles to drive tomorrow, which is a really short day. It's like 8 hours of driving, and it would put me there about 3 to 4 p.m., and I deliver at 8 a.m. the next morning. So this is at a naval air station where this pre-plan is going to. So if I still end up with this pre-plan, I will give the contact number a call, because there may be the ability to unload it tomorrow, especially if I can get there. I can get there before 4. That's just a estimation based on right now what's going on. But that can all change. So, and since it's before 4, as a former military person, I used to work usually until 4:30, 5 o'clock, typically. So if I can get there before then, there may be the possibility of getting unloaded tomorrow evening at the Naval Air Station. And it'll be interesting to get onto a military base in a commercial vehicle. Usually they have a commercial access gate in which I'll have to proceed through. I may have a little bit easier time getting on than many other drivers, and then again I may not, only because I have a military ID card. So because I'm a retired member, I have a permanent ID card as a retired military member. So there shouldn't be any issue with me getting on the base, and as long as they check out my rig, that'll be cleared to get on the base as well. Whereas other individuals that don't have guaranteed access to military facilities would need to be, typically you have to be called on, you have to get a gate pass by somebody on the military facility authorizing you, saying, yeah, they're coming to see me at this location, blah, blah, blah. Because I had to do that for all my relatives that were coming to visit me on base and whatnot, or contractors that I needed to work with. So, but if you have an ID card, I get on anything that I've ever been to without any issue. So, but like I said, this is with a commercial vehicle. It will be slightly different, and I'll proceed as directed. So we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully the door opens up and they come out and say, hey, we think we've got a plan. What we want you to do is back up really fast into this doorway and slam on the brakes. That, of course, will never happen. But I can foresee going in here and having multiple forklifts on each side as they lift, and I pull out, and then they lower and try to figure out how they're going to move it around, and then re-accomplish that for the second piece. I don't know if they have that many forklifts, or even forklifts with that kind of capability. So, because these things are heavy. We'll see what happens.